What's up, everybody? I am back. It's Thursday, and I've done a couple metal songs, and I thought for Sylvia, actually, well, I was listening to music, and I wanted to do stuff from this band anyway, but I thought, you know what, for Sylvia, I'll go back and do a little pop punk, or as these guys were called at the time, goth punk. I'm doing an Alkaline Trio song. I really love Alkaline Trio. I've loved them for a long time. They're probably one of my favorite, like, I don't know, pop punk bands. Really goth punk, emo punk, right? Their lyrical content tends to be very dark, very sort of shoegazy. But anyway, doing an Alkaline Trio song. We're doing "Help Me." It's a great song. I do know this one. We'll get into it in just a second, but before we do, a couple things. This is where the title card would go, or the channel theme song or whatever. A couple things. First of all, like and subscribe. I always appreciate that. Helps me out. Trying to get to 4,500 subscribers. There's a video that I'm planning to do at 4,500. So help the people that are waiting on that video out. I am not a music professional. I'm not an expert. I'm just a guy who likes music a lot. I know a few things, but I'm not going to be getting into the granular details, right? Like, oh, why did they play this chord structure instead of this one? That's not something I have skill in. Go watch Justin Hawkins Rides Again, or Fantano, or there's a couple others, right? Guitar teachers who react to videos. Go watch them. They're going to get more into the weeds on that stuff. And then finally, don't be a dick. This should not be too difficult for people to get into. Shouldn't be too offensive or anything like that. Not too hard on your ears. But, you don't have to like the song. You don't have to like me. These things are okay. But I would like to keep the comments, a nice place to visit, right? So let's just keep it chill in the comments. I got my coffee. It is a caramel brulee latte because I am bougie as hell. Let's get into it. This is "Help Me" by Alkaline Trio.
Heaven and hell, I feel nothing's what it says.
Man, I love that song. So this is from the album Agony and Irony, which came out in, I think, 2008. And it's a great song. The steampunk thing is not what I would call a traditional feature of Alkaline Trio. This is like a video-specific aesthetic, not something that they, like, the band is not performing in steampunk gear, as a general rule. You may recognize his voice, the voice of Matt Skiba, who is the lead singer of Alkaline Trio. He took over for Tom DeLonge in Blink-182 for a while. Obviously now Blink-182 is all back together for we'll see how long that lasts. But I like Matt Skiba's voice a lot. I've always been partial to it. They're a Midwest band, so there's not a ton of accent to the voice. Hawthorne Heights is similar for me, right? They're from Ohio. There's no real accent to the voice, so it's very clean. I've always enjoyed that. The drumming is great. I know I talk about drumming a lot. I'm talking about drummers, but I think drumming, it's such a cool skill. It's such a traditional instrument, right? People have been playing drums for about as long as there have been any sort of musical instruments, right? Whether it's for signaling, right, across long distances, or keeping a rhythm by the campfire, things like that. It is a deeply traditional instrument, and what people can do with it is amazing. I think with just 2 hands and 2 feet. And this is like pop punk drumming. It doesn't have to be that complicated, but the drummer is, I think the drummer is Dan Adriano. I don't remember exactly. I don't know all of the names, but he's really good. And this song is really good. I really like the way they put stuff together. It's not always the most complex, right? And the guitar work is not always super complex. It's one guitarist, right? You got a guitar, you got a bass, you got drums, and then you got 2 vocalists. But you get this really cool sound. I really like Alkaline Trio. I don't have a whole lot else to say. There are other videos that I want to do that don't seem to be available on YouTube. Some older videos that I really like, but we'll have to wait on those. I might find them somewhere else, or we'll just do the songs, and you guys can imagine the videos. I'll tell you what they were about. But I think that'll do it for this one. Go listen to more Alkaline Trio. Go check them out if you aren't familiar with them. They've been around for like 25 years at this point, maybe longer. So there's a lot to check out. I recommend Crimson. I recommend. Let's see what albums. I recommend. I recommend Agony and Irony, Crimson, Good Morning, and My Shame Is True. And This Addiction. Really, they're, I would say, 5 out of 6. I don't like their early stuff as much. For the same reason I don't like Blink-182 with their early stuff as much, because it's a little bit more sloppy, right? It's very much like early punk, early pop punk, and it's a little bit more disjointed. I don't like it as much. Your mileage may vary, but I definitely would say their run of albums starting in about 2001, 2003, up to about 2016. There's some really good stuff in there. Thank you guys for watching. I think I'll wrap it up here. Have a good day. Stay safe out there. Drink lots of water, and don't talk to cops.